Hey guys. So today's video, whatever, is to do with the rotation platforms. The only thing I've really changed since the last video is I made the moving platform we did into a prefab just so I can move it around. I'll very quickly run through how I did that just because it makes a lot more sense. So I'm just going to break this prefab. So what I've done, I've just created an empty game object. I've called this prefab underscore move platform, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. I've put this to the center of the world in here, and then also gone through and put all the other objects in that we use the moving platform, the point A, the point B, all to the center of the world. Obviously that's not where we want them to go, but just for the sake of this and keeping it relative, I just want to do that. So we got it in here and we can move everything as we want to with this top kind of parent object. The way it works, this is a parent object, these are children objects or child objects, whatever you want to say really. And then just repositioned it. So I wanted that there, and I want to move my point B over to here. I could tweak this and get this to be exactly how I want it, but for the time being, I don't really need to. But you know what? I'll show you anyway. So I'll move this object. This is obviously the moving platform. We want B to be exactly where that moving platform is now. We can copy from up here the component and just copy it onto B. So it's exactly where we want it to be. Just copy and paste the components. I'm going to then return the moving platform to 0 because I want it to start over there. And as simple as that, we've got back to where we were before. But the reason I've done it this way is just so that I do have a prefab. So yeah, as I say, I'm just going to return all this stuff back to 0. Oh, not like that. And then return this back to central world, just because that's how I want to save my prefab out. So I'm going to drag this into here. I've already got one in here, haven't I, from the one I did before. But yeah, there we go. That's how you make a prefab from this, bearing in mind the fact that there are multiple objects to be playing with. Right, so anyway, rotation. I just wanted to quickly run through that with you because now I can go in here and I can put them wherever I want without having to copy it. And that's a lot neater than having 3 different objects, just having that one there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make the rotation stuff work now. So I'm probably going to put this, I'll put this a bit further back. So I'm just going to duplicate this cube to start with, put this over here, get this kind of where I want it to be, rename it to rotating platform. You got to be a bit careful with rotating platforms because you can make it look a little bit weird with clipping through things. If you look, I'm still going to do it this way, but just so you can see, if I do that and I rotate it, it's into this other object. So you always got to be a little bit careful with that about how you do it. You could, if you wanted to, rotate it that way. That's not too bad. They can clip a little bit, but still. I'll show you this, and then jobs are good. And what I'm going to do, if you don't want moving platforms in your project, I would advise doing the moving platform tutorial anyway, because all I'm essentially going to do is show you how to take the code we did before, copy it and edit it slightly, rather than go back through and rewrite everything again. There's not a lot of point in that when we've already got most of the code in the move platform stuff. So make a new script. So this is going to be rotate to platform. If I can spell this. I'm going to open this up in MonoDevelop. We'll do the code and then I'll show you how to set everything up. So there we go. Is that how I spell it? It may have been the one I did before. Here's one I did earlier. There we go, that's better. So quite simple really. I'm just going to go into this move platform. I'm going to grab everything we've got here from top to bottom. Obviously before this, I don't really want to take that. And then I'm just going to paste it in. So currently this will move. I don't want it to move, but that's what's moving. And it's very quick changes to this. So as I say, if you didn't do the move platform, do the move platform, because it's easier for me to show you how to switch it around rather than having to rewrite it and just talk about the same stuff again. Everything still means the same. The only things we're changing are where it says position at the minute. We're going to change all of these to say rotation. And rather than go through and rewrite it, I'm just going to copy it and paste. So everywhere that says position at the minute, just change that so it says rotation. That's most of it done. The only thing we need to think about now is where it says vector 3. With rotations, we don't think about vector 3s. What we refer to are quaternions, which, as it says there, are used to represent rotations. It's just a different way of doing it. So, yep, change the two vectors to quaternions and move towards. Well, we don't want it to move towards anymore. What we want it to do is we want it to rotate towards. So there we go. Very quick, very easy, and that's it. So that's how we've taken the movement one and changed it into the rotation one. Obviously, I've still got it up here as a separate script. So I've got a move one and a rotate one now. So I can save this out. Got this all set up in here. I'm going to add this to, and actually I'll do the empty game object thing again, just in case you forget. So prefab underscore rotating platform. So smash this to 0. Put this into here, and the same again with that. Right, we're over here now. So this is a little bit easier, to be honest, because it's not moving from side to side, it's just spinning. So yeah, I'm going to do this with empty game objects just because it's a little bit easier. All we want is a transform, remember. So point A, duplicate that, point B. So currently point A has a rotation of 0. And obviously point B does as well. It's up to you how you want to rotate this. If you wanted to, we'll do it on the x-axis if you want. You can't actually see anything happening, but you can obviously see when we get it all working what happens. So point A has an x rotation of 0. Point B has an x rotation of -180. So I want it to essentially kind of this side to come up to the top, and then it kind of go like that, like a seesaw, I suppose. So yeah, grab this, put it onto there. Make sure not to put it onto this object because that's not what we want to rotate. If that rotates, it rotates everything with it. We just want this object to rotate. So point A to there, point B to there, and we'll say that point A has already been reached. You got to be careful with the speed on this because it rotates differently. The speed of rotation, you need to have it higher than the speed of movement. If you know, you'll see what I mean. If I put this at 10 now, and I hit play, we should see that it will do the rotation. Do you see what I mean? 10's very slow. You'd probably want it a little bit faster for anything, unless you want a really slow rotation. But as I say, you can tweak it in player mode and it'll work. So it rotates around to this object, gets to there, and then rotates back. And that's as simple as it is, really. That's a rotation object working. We've got the movement object, we've got the rotation. Two very good mechanics in one level there. So that's a good start to setting up mechanics. I'm going to prefab this, making sure yet again it's at 0, just because when I drag these in, if I drag this movement one in, I know exactly where that's going to be because it's at the 0 point in the world. If I moved it right over there somewhere, I might not be able to find it when I bring it in later on. It just works a lot better that way. So move my rotation into function assets, and I'll just bring it over here because why not? Make sure it's clamped up to that. Put it somewhere in the middle. I may even want to bring it inwards a little bit like that. There we go. So now we'll see that that object we've made will rotate. Yet again, I didn't change that on the second time. But yeah, or you could go really mad with it, because why not? There we go. Moving object, rotating object, very simple code, very simple scripting. We're just using move towards and editing the positions for the movement, and we're moving rotate towards and editing the quaternion rotations for the other stuff. So as I say, what I'm going to do now is my next video it'll be a very quick video, to be honest. It's going to show you how to combine the two into one script, because you might want an object that moves and rotates at the same time. I thought I may as well do a video because it's not going to take me very long. It's just a case of copy and pasting the relevant code from the two separate scripts that we've already got. But yeah, it's working. We're on his way. Thanks a lot. Cheers.